Hey guys, Ashlane here. In case you didn't know, I have a new channel just started last night. It is 3-Star Vault, new YouTube channel. Check it out for an archive of tons of 3-star attacks, sorted by strategy and Town Hall level. Today's episode is going to be GOVAHO at Town Hall 9 with very special guest Paul Morphy, aka White Walker from Red Elite. His first time on the channel, so without further ado, let's go ahead and bring him in and discuss his recent attack. Alright guys, so I am here with Paul Morphy, aka White Walker. What's going on, PM?
Oh, nothing much, man.
Okay, thanks for joining me. First time on the channel. Very happy to have you because you have a max, or very close to max, Town Hall 11 account, and a close to max Town Hall 9 account, and you're one of our best attackers. So I figured I'd have you on talking a little GOVAHO, because you're one of our best attackers with it.
Sounds good, man.
All right, so a couple questions before we go ahead into the raid that we're going to discuss today. What indicators on a base do you look for to use the Valkyries with the GOVAHO?
Usually I look for the core that's pretty dense, or that has the double giant bombs on the opposite of the queen. And I try and get my jumps and my heals and my kill squad through the core of the base, trip the bombs, and kill the queen. If I can do that, then usually I can take care of the outside of the base with the hogs.
Okay, so what you're saying is kind of like, since there's a big trend in attacks with defenders putting their double giant bombs opposite the queen, you try to find a base that you can go ahead and trip all those giant bombs with the Valkyries and deal with the queen afterwards?
Exactly.
All right, but that's not going to be what happens in today's video. This is going to be one of the rare exceptions, but we'll get to that in a minute. Another question is, how do you decide? I noticed on the attack that we're going to watch in just a minute here, I noticed that you use your spells, your heal spells, on the Valkyries. Now, you got some overlap on the hogs, but how do you decide where to use your spells?
I usually use the jump to get me into the core a little bit, and use the heals just to keep my kill squad going and chewing through the core of the base pretty good. That way, at the end of the raid, they're towards the back of the base and they're distracting the defenses for your hogs.
Okay, on this attack, you're going to have the 2 jump spells and the 2 heal spells. Is that the spell combination you always take on these GOVAHOs? I know you do a lot of these attacks. I was wondering, do you have like a standard spell composition, or do you change it for every base?
I've actually gotten more comfortable with the 2 jumps, 2 heals. I tried rages, but a heal and then a rage, but that seemed to peter out too quick. The heals seemed to work the best for me.
Okay, so you're basically using 1 jump spell to enter the base, 1 jump spell to access the middle region of the base to open it up, and then the heal spells, obviously, you already discussed that.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And I guess lastly, when would you use GOVAHO versus just traditional GOHO-WE, just the golems and the hogs and the wizards?
I usually use it on bases where I can access both of the double giant bombs and get to the queen through the core of the base. And some of these newer bases in the current meta have big gaps, like dead spaces. Those are a little tougher to navigate your troops around and do what you want to do.
So that would be an example of a base you would not attack with GOVAHO, is these wide open dead zones in the middle of the base. Yeah,
the ones with the dead spaces in the middle are a little tougher to GOVAHO.
I gotcha. Well, that's some valuable insight. Thank you, man. Let's go ahead and show the screenshot and the game plan, and you can just kind of talk us through your game plan before we see the replay just quickly. And what was your plan on hitting this base?
Well, usually I go opposite of the queen to go in, but the back side of the base, the first jump would be by the cannon and the mortar on the north side, and then the second one would be right there by the clan castle, but I wasn't sure if the queen would hop the wall, so I decided to go from the south side of the base to the north side. That way I could get to all the compartments and get the queen and trip the bombs from the south side because it wasn't accessible from the north.
Okay, that makes sense. I have the number of hogs you use in like a surgical manner all around the base. So your game plan was kind of to keep the Valks alive behind the kill squad and the golems and stuff, and then just kind of trim the hogs throughout the attack?
Yeah, that way they kind of an inverted surgical hog, so to speak.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, how do you decide? I know a lot of people have different formulas. Do you have like a certain amount of hogs that you use per point defense or splash damage? Like, what do you look for when deciding how many hogs to use in particular areas?
It depends on how many point defenses they're going to have left as to how many you're going to bring. Splash defenses don't really bother them too much, but depends on how many point defenses you have left. I just go with as many as I can because they're great with cleanup. So you can't really go wrong with having more than you need.
And how many? And how do you
Like
just?
a Tesla, so it'll help you
Okay,
overcome that.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a big misnomer. Is I see some people just kind of throw in like 5 or 6 hogs towards a mortar or something when it's really the point damage that you're really concerned about. How do you decide how many Valkyries to bring?
6 seemed to be the happy number for me. It seemed to work out where you have enough tanking and stuff that chews through the core of the base. Whereas if you had too many of them, you won't have enough hogs in the end, and you really want to have enough hogs. The wizards, you just want enough to create your funnel for your Valks because they like to go hairy on you sometimes.
All right, cool. Want to go ahead and talk us through the actual attack?
Sure, man.
All right, let's press play whenever you're ready.
All right. So I just went ahead and dropped my golems to tank for my wizards. Actually, could have put that other golem a little further to the left, but clear out some of these trash buildings so that way when you drop your Valks, they go to the core where you want them. Probably could have placed that jump a little bit further back, but you get your kill squad in there and you let them do their thing, and when they start coming into a lot of pressure, that's when you drop your first heal spell.
All right.
And you kind of let them do their thing. And
now the first jump spell there. Okay, that worked. Okay.
Yeah, barely got it there. I probably could have went a little further back. I trickled a few extra hogs there to kind of kill those defenses back there, make sure the queen didn't stray to the left or the right or whatever.
Yeah, this is so okay. Now we're tripping the giant bombs and stuff like that, so things are looking pretty good. Are things going as planned so far?
Yeah, once you get through the core like that, you can pretty much start trickling in your hogs. About 3 to each point defense, 1 or 2 to each splash, and they'll just do their thing and work towards the core. And most of the stuff will be shooting towards your stuff in the core and won't even touch the hogs.
Yeah, and look at the, it's something to take note of is when those Valkyries trip those giant bombs, it barely does any damage to their health. So they're very hardy little women, the little redheads there. So certainly worth noting that if you can trip the bombs, in especially with a heal spell with Valkyries, it's certainly very effective.
Yeah, they can pretty much power through the whole core of the base with the heals. And triple double giant bombs, no problem.
Yeah, very, very nice 3-star attack. And you've really, the reason I wanted to have you on is because you've become really consistent with these 3-star raids. So I'm thankful that you joined us.
Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. Just a few ways you can help the channel out.
To talk about a little bit of the insight that goes on behind these attacks, because I'll be honest, I'm not a huge Valk attacker. On my Town Hall 9 account, I don't think I've ever done a Valk raid because I haven't really leveled them up. And I never had on Ash.
Last group that I upgraded to.
And now you
find a way to use them, and now they've really just become one of the core attacking units that I use.
So what would it, let's leave on this note, if you had one piece of advice to give to somebody who's just like a strictly Gola Loon attacker like you used to be, or a Go-Ho attacker, what would you say to get them to try out adding Valkyries to their armies?
Well, it's more so when you get bored doing the same old thing, you'd like to try new stuff. And it took a while to get this attack kind of where I wanted it to be, and now it's become one of the staples in my attack strategy.
Yeah. And do you recommend starting out like hitting lower bases on the map to get your confidence up and stuff?
Get your feet wet on the lower bases before you start tackling the bigger stuff.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks so much for coming on, Paul Morphy. Really appreciate it, and it was a pleasure. Let's do it again sometime.
No problem, man. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Whoa, you've made it all the way till the end of the episode. You must be a true fan. So between you and me, I want to let you know about a new series that's coming starting a week from today. It's going to be Casual Friday series. It's going to be a new series. Who knows if I'll stick with it, but I'm going to give it a try at least for a few episodes. And it's going to be more of a loose format. It will be mostly about Clash, but it's going to be other just random meanderings of my mind, and we'll talk about other things like other games, life events, movies, books, TV shows, whatever, and usually with a Clash background. So guys, hope you enjoy that, and a special thanks to all my supporters on Patreon. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Can't thank you guys enough. Can't thank you all enough for staying till the end of this episode, and as always, take care, guys.